And now for the most exciting part of the segment, we're joined by D. Shiv Kumar, the man himself who is the leading face of the most trusted brand in India. Thank you so much for joining us, Shiv. Thank you so much.
Evening, Sonali.
So how does it feel? I mean, not only have you, bagged and swooped the #1 position of the most trusted brands, but you've also managed to sustain it from last year.
I know last year was a very special moment for us because if you look at this brand, it's been in this country for 14 years. In 2005, we were number 71. Then we moved to 44. Then we moved to 4. Last year, we were 1. And this year, we've retained that.
Did you expect it?
It would have been a surprise if we had not stayed as the most trusted brand. I think we did a number of things right last year. The whole organization, I think there was dramatic improvement in care, which is a big touch point in this category. People respect you or trust you based on how they interact with you. I think our innovation went well. I think our associations and sponsorships were good.
You have beaten a lot of traditional and age-old brands that have been top of mind recall, with consumers, since they've been growing up. To beat brands like that, does it say something about, consumer psyche and consumer behavior to you?
That's a very good question. I think the Indian consumer is coming of age. I think if you go back in the past, people would give trust to brands which were big in size. Okay, house names would be a great example, like the Tatas, the Birlas, the other people. The second reason why people gave trust to a brand was longevity. This brand has been around for 15 years or 30 years or 50 years and things like that. I think the Indian consumer has come of age, and telecom as a category and specifically mobility and mobile phones, I think have captured the imagination of the consumer in this country like no other category has.
Right. But would you then say that brand loyalty, so to speak, is now a redundant concept?
I won't say that. I think what's happened is the gap in quality between brands in any category has minimized quite a lot.
Okay.
Okay. Earlier, only the multinationals had good quality. Right. Okay. That was the general impression 2 decades ago. That's not true anymore. I think every brand in every category crosses the hurdle rate of good quality, and hence then brands start jockeying around in terms of value, in terms of positioning and things like that. So the number of brands a consumer is willing to consider in his repertoire has increased significantly in most categories. And that's the reason the consumers move between brands, and in that sense, yes, you could well say that loyalty to one brand might have come down.
But Shiv, it's interesting you talk about innovations and being top of the pack in terms of new technology, because I think one of the criticisms that Nokia as a brand has witnessed is that despite the fact that they are, the market leaders, they have not been, agile in terms of, launching the best innovative phones and being, top of the pack in terms of new technology. Would you agree with that?
No, I wouldn't agree with that. See, in a hyper innovative category like mobile phones, it's quite likely that we'll miss 1 or 2 innovations. That's okay, but we'll catch up.
But is that a conscious strategy to not be
I
first?
wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that at all. I think if there are 10 successful innovations in the mobile phone category, Nokia would have introduced 8 of them.
Take me through the brand building process of Nokia. What did Nokia do right in terms of building its brand in India, considering it's just a 14-year-old company?
I think Nokia did many things right. I think Nokia realized that this is going to be a very big market. In 1995, our global board met in Delhi. That was the time when there were no mobile phones being sold and landline penetration was 2%. But they looked at the market and said, this is going to be a big mobile phone market, and we must invest in this market. They said this market will take time to develop. In the early stages, it will not be big, and hence let's invest in assets which can be leveraged significantly. So we invested significantly in people, in distribution and the brand. And we kept investing in all 3 repeatedly.
Going back to 1995, when you entered the market, brands that were relevant at that time, be it LG or Samsung or Philips, were pretty much in the fray. Where did they lose the plot?
All the companies you list had other categories, successful businesses. They had lighting, they had consumer electronics, they had pagers and things like that. Nokia had nothing.
Right.
Nokia had only mobile phones. So Nokia's life depended on getting this right. Whereas for everybody else, it was okay, it's a hobby, let's see when that market opens up. And I think that was a real difference because Nokia's life depended on it, and hence we put all our focus in ensuring that we got it right.
Do you think Shah Rukh, being the brand ambassador for the brand, has helped in, gaining more trust?
It has, when we talk of trust, the first campaign with Shah Rukh, done towards the end of 2007 was about trust, where Shah Rukh comes up and says, look, Nokia has been part of my life for 10 years. There's nobody else which has shared all the moments which are special for me, like Nokia has. And we actually spoke of trust there, that I trust Nokia and so should you. And 6 months later, we were voted the most trusted brand. So I think Shah Rukh's had a role. And our association with Shah Rukh also has gone beyond that in terms of cricket, because Nokia has always believed in connecting people to their passions.
Fair enough, but you're still partnering with a losing team.
That's okay. You know, these things are part of life. Some you win, some you lose, because nobody, like you say tomorrow you're sponsoring something on television. Okay, the Indian team loses. So what? These are part of life. You know, and but it doesn't break partnerships. It doesn't break trust which you build with partners in the ecosystem.
So in that market specifically, have you seen some amount of quantum rise?
Yes, we've seen huge engagement with the Nokia brand in Calcutta, and in fact across the country.
If you look at take the Indian market and you juxtapose it globally, how does it stand?
In most categories, most people would not find China and India being number 1 and 2, but for Nokia it's 1 and 2. I think if I'm right, there are about 3 to 5 companies who are market leaders both in China and India.
Right.
Nokia is one of them.
What lies ahead for Nokia in the next 1 year?
We have to move and be successful in the transformation we are trying to make from being pure play device into solutions by offering great services. I think growing the market and you know, staying where we are in terms of share or gaining share will be another big challenge.
Congratulations once again. That was Nokia CEO D. Shiv Kumar on being the defending champion of ET's Most Trusted Brand Award. You can catch all the top guns and the top dogs every week only on Brand Equity. It's time to take a short breather, but when we come back, we're going to look at India's most exciting sector and what they make of their rankings. Don't go away.